Welcome to Round 5 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of September 2nd. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Today we are taking a break from talking and complaining and obsessing and instead shouting out things other people are doing that we think you'll find as useful or enjoyable as we do. We call this our Roundabout Roundup. I'll start just by mentioning a product that I mentioned earlier this week and shout it out. And that is the Ikea storage/moving bags that my daughter and I used when she moved into her dorm at university. And as I explained in our previous podcast, they're long rectangular shaped bags. They're not kind of like the bucket ones that you put over your shoulder. They're the long rectangular ones with a zipper on the top. And they've got two handles that will double as that will help you make the bag double as a backpack. And they are so great and so sturdy. I think IKEA calls them the Fracta Storage Extra Large Bag. And I see that you can get them on Amazon or obviously through IKEA. So amazing to anybody that plans on storing or moving in the next while. So, Catherine, what have you got for us this week?
A couple weeks ago now, I think it was, I mentioned that sometimes my husband and I struggle to find TV shows that we can watch together because we just seem to be, I don't know, our tastes are diverging.
Yes.
But we've been watching Money Heist, and we're still watching that. That's the one where it's like 25 episodes on this one heist. And then, so the other day we watched one of those, but then we also tried out this show, this cooking show on Netflix called The Chef's Line. Ooh. And it's a little bit like MasterChef, where you have home cooks and you have real, professionals. But what they do is they take, I think it was 4 home cooks, and then they have 4 chefs from a restaurant, and they're in ranked order. You start at the bottom with the assistant, and then you have the sous chef and the station chef, and, they've different, there's a hierarchy. So on the first episode, the home cooks compete against the low guy on the totem pole from the restaurant. And then, somebody gets sent home from the group of home cooks. I don't think they send home the professionals.
We're sorry, you've lost your job.
Yeah, they send home one of the home cooks, and then the next week or the next episode, they all compete against the remaining home cooks, compete against the next highest person on the totem pole, and so on. So it was kind of fun because it's an Australian show, and maybe similar to something like the Great British Bake Off, where they're not as mean and obnoxious as they tend to be on American shows, reality competition shows.
Blurb that, Netflix. Not as mean and obnoxious as American shows. Yeah,
they help each other, on the couple that we watched, there was this one home cook that was struggling, and so the head chef from the restaurant was like, here's what you're doing wrong. And he told her how to fix it. So, and at first I was like, hey, that's not fair. She should have just failed. But then my husband was like, really? This is nice. She's getting help. So anyway, it's called The Chef's Line. And then, so it's sort of like chunks where they have 4 or 5 episodes with, and they're just half an hour, and they have of the 4 or 5 chefs from one restaurant and one type of food. So they'll have 4 or 5 Vietnamese food episodes, all with the chefs from one restaurant. And then they have a Greek one and an Italian one, and so on and so on. So, and it's just, Australian accents. If you miss those, Nicole, you can check that out. The Chef's Line.
Okay. How about you, Terry?
Well, I want to give a shout out to our new podcast host, Spreaker, as Catherine mentioned on Monday. The main difference you, as our dear listeners, will notice is that we now have ads in our podcast, which makes us say, yay, and may make you say, oh gosh, another podcast with ads. Seriously? but please listen to them. It is the most painless way you can support this podcast and help us feel like we are not just doing the most time-consuming hobby ever. And thank you for listening to the rest of what we do. We really appreciate our listeners. And if you have found us because of our new home, welcome. We're very happy to have you. And please go to our website at parentingroundabout.com to check out all the many episodes we did before this.
Great. Thank you. That's it for another week of Parenting Roundabout. If you missed any of our earlier episodes this week, look them up on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts to hear what we have to say about college drop-offs, sharing a kitchen, trying and failing to make kids' lives easier. No, not failing. Trying to make kids' lives easier without being recognized, and what we're watching on TV. You can also find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And you can also visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/mamatude. You can buy those Ikea bags. And you can find links to a lot of things that we talk about here on our Friday Roundabout Roundups. Have a great weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday.